Reinventing You begins with a simple yet powerful premise: your professional identity is not fixed, and you can intentionally shape it. Dorie Clark frames the book around the idea that in a constantly evolving career landscape, those who thrive are the ones who actively define their personal brand rather than waiting for others to define it for them. The book is part guide, part storytelling, offering real-life examples of individuals who have successfully reinvented themselves, illustrating that transformation is both possible and strategic. Clark immediately engages the reader with the notion that reinvention begins with reflection. She invites readers to take stock of their current professional identity, how they are perceived by others, what their unique skills are, and what gaps exist between their current brand and their desired image. The act of self-assessment is not passive, it requires honesty and courage. She emphasizes that acknowledging both strengths and weaknesses is crucial because reinvention is about building on what is real, not creating a false facade. The next step in Clark's framework involves defining your brand narrative. She insists that a compelling brand is more than a list of skills, it is a story that communicates your value clearly and memorably. She shares examples of people who pivoted careers successfully by crafting stories that framed their experiences as logical stepping stones to their new paths. The storytelling aspect transforms a resume or LinkedIn profile from a static list of achievements into a dynamic narrative that others can understand and champion. Clark also stresses the importance of clarity. She argues that if you cannot clearly articulate what you do, others will struggle to recognize your value. She walks readers through exercises to define their elevator pitch, focusing on what differentiates them in their field. She encourages specificity and authenticity, cautioning against generic labels or overused buzzwords. The clarity in communication becomes a foundational element in attracting opportunities aligned with the desired professional identity. An essential element Clark addresses is reputation management. She notes that reinvention isn't just about self-perception, it's about how others see you. Actions, public appearances, online presence, and even the way you network all contribute to the perception of your brand. She illustrates this with stories of professionals who carefully curated their online presence and participation in industry events to reflect the image they wanted to project, gradually transforming others' perception of them. Networking emerges as a critical tool in reinvention. Clark emphasizes that authentic relationships matter more than transactional contacts. She encourages readers to approach networking strategically by seeking relationships that are mutually beneficial while also being mindful of the story those relationships tell about you. She shares examples of individuals who leveraged strategic alliances and mentorships to access new opportunities and audiences that reinforced their evolving brand. A significant portion of the book focuses on leveraging social media and digital platforms. Clark highlights that in the digital age, your online presence is often the first impression you make. She provides actionable advice on using LinkedIn, blogging, and other platforms to broadcast expertise and share your evolving professional story. By producing content and engaging in thoughtful discussions, professionals can subtly reinforce the narrative they want others to perceive. Clark also delves into the concept of small wins. Reinvention does not require a single dramatic leap but rather a series of intentional, strategic steps. She encourages readers to identify tangible actions that can gradually shift their brand. This might include volunteering for high-visibility projects, taking on speaking engagements, or publishing articles in industry journals. Each small win compounds, reinforcing the desired professional identity. In exploring career pivots, Clark emphasizes the role of courage. Reinvention often requires stepping into unfamiliar territory, risking failure, or challenging entrenched perceptions. She reassures readers that uncertainty is part of growth and that calculated risks are often necessary for transformative outcomes. Through stories of individuals who successfully navigated career shifts, she demonstrates that courage combined with strategic planning is a key differentiator. Clark addresses the importance of feedback in the reinvention process. She encourages readers to actively seek input from trusted colleagues, mentors, and peers to understand how they are perceived and how that aligns with their desired brand. Constructive feedback allows for course correction and fine-tuning of the brand narrative. It also helps identify blind spots that may hinder progress or create inconsistencies between intention and perception. The book explores the intersection of personal values and professional identity. Clark stresses that reinvention should not involve abandoning core principles, rather, it should amplify what is authentic about the individual. She illustrates how professionals who grounded their brand in genuine strengths and passions were able to attract opportunities that were more fulfilling and sustainable. Authenticity, she argues, makes reinvention credible and resilient. A recurring theme is the long-term perspective. Clark cautions against expecting overnight transformations. She frames reinvention as an iterative process requiring patience, persistence, and consistent effort. By viewing reinvention as a journey rather than a single act, readers are encouraged to focus on steady progress, celebrating milestones along the way while continuously refining their brand. Clark also emphasizes the role of storytelling in influencing others. Beyond communicating skills, a well-crafted narrative helps inspire confidence and trust among colleagues, clients, and decision-makers. She provides examples of professionals who use storytelling to reframe past experiences, highlighting transferable skills that made them viable candidates for new roles or industries. This storytelling approach makes reinvention relatable and memorable. The book concludes with a strong call to action. Reinvention is not reserved for those facing a career crisis, it is an ongoing opportunity for anyone willing to be intentional. Clark reinforces that the modern professional landscape rewards those who actively define themselves, rather than passively accepting external definitions. By embracing self-assessment, clarity, authentic storytelling, and strategic networking, individuals can shape a professional identity that opens doors to opportunities previously thought unattainable. Ultimately, Reinventing You is both inspiring and practical. Clark blends actionable strategies with real-world examples, showing that reinvention is a skill that can be learned and executed. The reader leaves with a roadmap: understand who you are, define who you want to be, communicate it effectively, and take consistent actions that reinforce your evolving professional brand. The book turns abstract concepts of personal branding into tangible steps, empowering professionals to imagine, and create, the future they want.